Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Shay and I share lots of different things. One of the biggest things I share is what my life looks like after having a weight loss surgery or bariatric surgery. I've lost about 100 pounds and I just share what my life looks like because it looks really different than it did now 2 years ago. Today, I'm gonna bring you guys to Costco with me, and I love Costco. I always have fun like walking around in there. It's definitely a place where I spend too much money. That's why I have to keep myself organized or else I'll go a little too crazy. I love Costco for meat. I freeze a lot of meat and their prices there are really good. A lot of stuff that I can freeze, I tend to get from Costco. It's just me and my husband, so it's not like we have like a big family to feed. So I think this video will be really helpful if you're a single person or if you're a coupled person or you just like don't live with too many people. This is like what our Costco haul looks like. Another thing on my channel that I share is that I have attention deficit disorder or ADD. And so I've been in the process of finding different things that work for me, things that I can do to help stay organized. When you have ADD or you're on that atypical spectrum, things that look like they should be easy can feel really hard. And this is one of those things for me where if I didn't have a list and I was just like going into Costco, I would come out with way too much stuff, not the stuff that I need, and it just can feel really overwhelming. So some of the things that I do to help prepare for Costco is I make a list, and I am a very visual person, and this is something new that I've kind of started incorporating over the last year or so, where I have calendars everywhere, like literally in every room of my house except the bathrooms. I have calendars for different purposes. So let me show you. On our fridge calendar, I have kind of like what I call like our family calendar on this side. This is just to keep track of like appointments, trips, things that we have coming up in the month that involve me and my husband both, or like to give each other a heads up. This over here is more of like my weekly meal planning calendar. I don't always stick to it to a T. That's not the purpose of this for me. Really, it's just to have an idea of what I'm planning on making for the week, what we have in inventory, just so I have like a better game plan. Because again, it can just feel really overwhelming if you tell me after like a long day, like, Shay, you have to come up with a meal tonight, and it's like, I don't know, let's just get takeout. And so this is just a way to kind of help me organize my brain to know like what we have available, what we can make, and things like that. And then additionally on this list, I also have our Costco list. So this is really helpful because it's in a central place where when we go, oh, we're all out of coffee or we're all out of dishwasher pods or whatever it is, we just write it on here. And then that's how I know when I'm ready to go to Costco. So this is like a really long list. Typically we don't let it get this long because I kind of prefer doing smaller hauls rather than like one big one like I'm gonna do today. But life has been busy. We've been traveling. It's just kind of been a lot going on where it's like I haven't wanted to go to Costco because we would be gone or whatever the case is. So we have a really long list, but this is really helpful just to have something, even if it's just a notepad or a whiteboard that's plain or whatever, just so that way when you run out of stuff, you can write it down right then and there. Because again, with how my brain works is like, it's very challenging to recall things like that. So for an example, if I'm like, oh yeah, we need coffee, it's like after I have that thought, it's gone a lot of times. And so being able to have something that's quick where I can say, okay, let me write it down while I'm thinking about it, that's really helpful. So I would say that's my first tip, is make sure you have things organized when you're going to Costco because it can get out of hand really quick. And I've seen that time and time again. The second thing I would recommend always, this is like a golden fast hard rule. Whenever we're about to go to Costco, we always make sure we're fed beforehand. So it's kind of in the morning right now. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, so I'm gonna eat breakfast. And the big reason for that is my stomach will lead the way in Costco with all of its glory. Everything is just like, looks so good. They might have samples. I'm like, I have to have all the stuff because my stomach is the one that typically leads when it's hungry. So I'm gonna have some breakfast to hopefully help that a little bit, to not get distracted, where I'll be full and satiated and it'll be all good. So I love Costco's rugs. If you ever need like bathroom rugs or like entryway rugs, They're really good here. The other thing that I get at Costco are all of our underwear. I love Costco underwear. We made it, you guys. I broke out in a little sweat. It was nice. I definitely think it's better to come to Costco like right before they close. That's when it's like empty. I came right when they opened today and it was busy, but we got it all loaded in. We're gonna go pack it all away and I'll show you what I do from there with this big Costco haul. All right, my furry little friends, let's go through what I got from Costco. We were all out of laundry detergent, so I got this hefty guy. I really like this, I was gonna say flavor, this scent. It smells very good, but it's not like overpowering. I'm gonna go put this in the laundry room. We got more toilet paper and paper towels. I feel like those are always a good deal at Costco. I also got these wipes. If you are needing a recommendation for booty wipes, I really like these Kirkland flushable wipes. This is the stuff that's not talked about that I wish was talked about more because it's important. So if you're looking for flushable wipes, these ones are, I like them. We got some oats and honey Nature Valley crunchy bars. Dylan really likes these. I like them too. I just don't have them all the time, but feel like they're a good deal there. I'm gonna save the fun stuff for last, so I'll get to the books in just a minute. Got a rotisserie chicken. We love getting these because they're so cheap. They have these new bags. They used to be in like little containers, but I'm like, oh, this is new. So we usually like take off all of the meat of the chicken and then we'll use it for like salads or whatever. And then we take all of what's remaining and put it in the crock pot, fill that with water, and then we cook it for, I think we do it usually for like 24 hours on low, and we make our own chicken bone broth. Great way to utilize everything from this like really cheap chicken. Got some bananas. I got some bacon. I'll freeze the majority of this and then just take it out and let it thaw in the fridge when I need it. But I love this Hempler's bacon. It's not super like greasy. Like you definitely still get grease, it's bacon, but it's not too fatty or greasy and it tastes really good and it's like a good thickness. Also, there's no sugar in this one and yeah, it's really good. I got some Rouse marinara sauce. I love this sauce. This is what I primarily use like with any pasta dish, lasagna, whatever. Zero sugar in this, good quality ingredients. So got more of that. I always try to get all of our pet supply stuff from Costco when it's available. I got a thing of dog food that we keep in this bin. I already put it away. And then they also have this Cosequin. It's like for joint health. Our one corgi, Lydia, she has mild hip dysplasia, so she needs to take this like to keep her hips feeling good. And then also this Frontline fleas and tick bundle. This is a great deal at Costco. It's really cheap there, or it's not really cheap, but like this stuff is kind of expensive and it's cheaper at Costco. Fun fact, I didn't know this until we were at a vet appointment like not that long ago. We were before giving our dogs oral medication for fleas and ticks, but he was saying that it's better to do this kind where it goes on the doggy's like skin because it actually repels fleas and ticks. It doesn't just treat it. And so he said that with the oral kind, it's not that it's bad, but it takes a flea and tick to bite them and then it treats it, whereas this stuff also repels. So I didn't know that, but FYI, if it's helpful for you, that's what our vet said. Also got some sleep aid. My husband, poor guy, he has trouble falling asleep sometimes, and his mom was actually the one that recommended this to him, and he said it works really well. So I'm very fortunate. I don't have issues with like falling and staying asleep. But if you're looking for a sleep aid, obviously talk with your doctor. But I hear that this one works good, and it's just the Kirkland brand sleep aid. I am gonna be out of town in the next couple days, and so my husband's favorite is the chicken pot pie, and I saw it there. I'm like, that'll be good because then he'll be able to have that for leftovers, but we're huge fans of the chicken pot pie. I've also had the shepherd's pot pie, and I really liked that one as well. Dylan, my husband, didn't really like that one. He prefers the classic chicken. Another thing, keep keeping the hubby in mind, I got these chicken breast burrito bowls. These are really good and they're perishable, like they're not frozen. You probably could freeze them, but they're just like whole ingredients. I kind of get tired of them after a while. I'm someone who has to have like different things all the time eating wise, where Dylan, he can kind of eat the same thing all the time. So I thought I would get some of these for him to have for lunch while I'm gonna be away. We love Costco's espresso. We have a Jura that we use, and I believe this comes from Starbucks, or it's like they're in partnership, or they used to be. I don't know if they are anymore, but this is just the whole bean coffee espresso blend, and it's really good. And then I think this might be local just to where I live. I don't know if this kind of bread is everywhere, but it's Portland French City Sour wheat sourdough bread. And me and Dylan have been obsessed with this bread. Like, we love it. And Portland is like 4 hours away from where I live, so that's why I'm thinking it's probably more of a local thing. But if you see this kind, it's really good. We'll buy quite a bit of it and then freeze it and then just pull it out and let it thaw as we need it. And then we're gonna have some family over for dinner tonight, and they were gonna bring takeout over, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to Costco anyway. Let me just get something that we can have here to keep it like cheaper and easier. And so I got these chicken street taco kit. Yes, and I got 2 of them. That might be more. There's gonna be, I think, 4 of us, but I feel like they'll probably make for good leftovers anyway, but I haven't tried it yet, so they look good. I'll let you know what I think. I got strawberries. I feel like Costco always has the best like berries in general. So these are organic strawberries, really good. And then let's talk our bakery section. So I found these really cute little carrot cakes. We just had Easter, and so I think that's why these carrot cakes are here, but they're little carrot cake muffins with cream cheese frosting, and I got them because we're gonna have family over for dinner tonight, so I thought that would be a cute dessert. Look at how cute those are. I'm really excited to try these. They look really good. I love Costco's seasonal bakery stuff too. I feel like they always have really good stuff, like pumpkin pie, which that's like a weird example for me to use because I don't like pumpkin pie, but if you do like pumpkin pie, I've heard their pumpkin pie is really good. Apple pie, like, I don't know, I just feel like Costco is great if you wanna take something that tastes really like homemade and good, but you don't want to have to make it. Costco is such a great stop for that. The other thing that I get from Costco are these blueberry muffins. I love these blueberry muffins. And what I'll do is I'll freeze them also. So usually I'll get like gallon-sized bags and I'll freeze 4 at a time. I love eating these with vanilla Greek yogurt and then this like sprinkled on top, or if I just kind of need like a fast carb. They are very calorie dense, but they're so good. And again, with my body after bariatric surgery, I can have stuff like this just as long as I'm stopping when I'm full, checking in on my cues. But I love these, and I love that they freeze so well, so I don't have to worry about them going bad or anything, and I like them cold, so it works out. Okay, last but not least, all of the meat that I got from this trip. I got ground beef, and what I'll do with this ground beef is I'll essentially cut it into sections and then put it into quart-size freezer bags. And that's roughly a pound. It might be a little more, a little less, depending on how you're doing it. And then I actually flatten it down and close it, so that way it stacks in my freezer nicely. And I love having those on hand if I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do for dinner tomorrow night? Let's do like an easy pasta dinner. I'll grab one of those out of the freezer, let it thaw overnight in the fridge, and then it's perfect. So I love pre-bagging stuff like that and having it in the freezer ready to go. I also got some chicken thighs. We do a lot of chicken thighs. Usually we'll just marinate it. And I love using G.H. Hughes marinades because they're really good and 0 sugar. So we'll usually marinate overnight and then throw them on the Traeger and grill them up. I also got some pork chops. Pork is such a great cheap meat to get. And what I do with this is I actually put them in sous vide bags. And I know like sous vide, that sounds so fancy. Essentially a sous vide is a body of water, and it's this device. The actual sous vide is the device that you put into the water, and it regulates the temperature so you can cook meats that are vacuum sealed and cook them so that way they're like really tender and delicious. And so we do the sous vide for a lot of things, but especially pork chops, because pork chops can be so dry. Cooking them with a sous vide makes them really good. So what I'll do is I'll pre-bag these in sous vide bags and either put like a marinade or just season them and then keep them in the freezer. Same thing kind of with the ground beef, where if we're like, okay, well, let's do pork chops tomorrow, we'll let let it thaw out in the fridge overnight, and then pop it in the sous vide, and then we'll usually sear it on either side just to kind of get some color. So delicious. And we're gonna do the same thing with this salmon, where I'm gonna just cut it up into like portions that would feed me and Dylan, put it in the sous vide after I season it, or sous vide bags after I season it, and then put them in the freezer and have them be ready to go when we're feeling like salmon. Okay, now for the fun stuff. So Costco's book selections. I love getting books from Costco because they're so much cheaper than retail stores, and it's always just fun to see like what ones are there. And if you're newer to reading, I feel like looking at Costco books is such a great way to do that because they're typically books that a majority of people like, and it's not so overwhelming because there's not very many of them, which is really cool. So typically I'll get Costco books like if I see one that I think looks cool, I'll usually look on my Goodreads app to see what review it has, or if there are books that I'd been wanting to get for a while, but I'm like, I'll wait, I'm not quite ready to read them yet. I'll usually get them at Costco when I see them, because once they're out, they're out. So that's why if you find a book or really anything at Costco that you want to get, if you really like it, you should get it when you see it, because probably the next time you go back, it won't be there. So this time I feel like they had really good books that I was like, I have to get some. So this first one, Iron Flame, I have been listening to Fourth Wing on audio, and Dylan, my husband, has been reading it. And so they had both of the books there, but we already have the Fourth Wing book. So I saw this and it was $17.99. So I got this for Dylan to read next when he's done. And I don't know if I'll read this one or if I'll listen to the audio version of it, but the audio version has been awesome. The dramatized one, just as an FYI. So excited that I found this there. This was one of the books where I had never heard of it before, but it had kind of an interesting title and it looked cool. So I looked it up on Goodreads. I think it had like a 3.8 star, but it just sounded interesting. A Short Walk Through a Wide World by Douglas Westerbeck. I don't know if I said that right. I'm so bad with authors' names, I'm sorry. But anything that's kind of like magical realism, kind of fantasy looking, I will usually try. So this is another one that I got. And then this last one, I have been eyeing this one for a while. Every time I've been in bookstores, it's like I'm drawn to it just because like the cover art of it is so cool. Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. And I've heard really good things about this book. It has like a 4.8 star review on Goodreads, which usually means like it's a really good book. I saw this one there, I'm like, okay, it's my sign to get it. So I'm really excited that I found this one. I feel like that's a really good find. So yeah, that's my little book haul from Costco. Well guys, thank you for coming along with me to Costco. Leave a comment below. Do you want to see more hauls like this? I have a lot of fun doing them, so let me know. And make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell because I put out new videos regularly. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.